So hi, I wanted to do a short review of this 1849 Jacques of London reproduction from the Chess Empire website. I couldn't find a review of this chess set when I decided I wanted to order these pieces, and so I'm adding one. What can I say? The pieces are beautiful. They have the presumably licensed Jacques of London logo on them. They have the traditional markings for the king's side pieces on the knight and the rooks. You don't need them on the bishop, of course. The knights are beautiful. Pieces are beautiful. I ordered a previous set from the Royal Chess Mall. I find these particular pieces are just a little bit more plain. The other set was a little bit more ornate. So depending on, whether you want to be playing with these traditional looking pieces or the more ornate. And incidentally, the knights on the Royal Chess Mall set are absolutely gorgeous. But this is a review about this set. And here's the queens. The only issue I have, they're heavy. I'll actually, if you're interested, I will show that the king is actually 4.4 inches in this set. Let's see if I can do that here on camera. It's about. And incidentally, the little, I don't know if it's the rosette on top of the king, but that's, a fairly accurate representation. I mean, we're looking at close to 5 inches on the king. And just if you're interested in the weight, have a little scale here, because they are quite heavily weighted, these pieces. The king here is 112 grams, 112.4 grams. So the black pieces are slightly heavier. This is the Black King, also with the Jacques of London brand on it. And it is slightly heavier, 137.2 grams. Pieces are beautiful. The black ones are ebony. The only issue, very, very nitpicky, because I don't believe in anything is ever completely perfect, especially when it's made of wood. Couple of the, I don't know if you can see this, a couple of the pawns are, maybe not quite as nicely polished, finished. Could have been a different piece of ebony they were turning to make. Just a couple of them are like this, not all of them, but a couple of them look a little rough. Other than that, set's absolutely gorgeous. I love the rooks, the way they look, and the knights. Again, here's the bishop's appearance here. I'll show you the black one as well. And they're all, of course, they're quite heavy. They're weighted, and beautifully, for the most part, beautifully finished, especially the major pieces. I mean, simply gorgeous ebony here. Shame that there's a couple of pawns that look a little rough, but then these things are made of wood, so there's gonna be a little bit of variation over, and I gather it's getting harder to get ebony. But yeah, if you like the 1849 Jacques of London style and you don't want to pay $1,000 or more for it, this looks like a pretty good option to me. These are gorgeous pieces. I mean, they're weighty. They feel good in your hand. They're not ridiculously elaborate, as you see in some of the sets. And the white pieces, of course, are Boxwood. The black pieces are ebony. And the board here was in my previous review of my Royal Chess Mall. It's from the Royal Chess Mall. It's an ebony and maple board. Gorgeous board. Does have some fine scratches. I don't know if you can see those. But it's probably been finished with something like steel wool. You know, I don't like to play on a super shiny surface. I don't know. I think most players don't like to play on a super shiny surface. But that's it. That's the pieces are gorgeous. The oh, one thing to mention: when they arrive, the little pins here are removed, and that's probably a good idea because, you know, if the thing did get banged, I've seen restoration videos for 1849 Jacques of London chess sets, and frequently this thing is broken off on the king because it's a very, very heavy king, and it has this little I don't know what it's called, cross sticking out. So if this fell on the floor this way up, you know, on a hard floor, that almost certainly gets snapped off. And you see that with some of these old sets that one other guy on YouTube I've seen restoring. So having it removable, you know, probably, especially for shipping, is probably a good idea. And it's in here quite tight. You could glue that in, I guess, if you wanted to. So there they are. Oh, and yeah, there are, of course, 4 queens. They have a lovely color to them. Not quite as yellow as the antique sets, but, you know, who wants to pay those kind of prices when you can have one that's, you know, not restored and looks almost as good. Pawns, I'll show you one of the pawns here in detail. Quite heavy, given that it's a pawn. And this is a 2 1/4 inch square board, by the way. The base on the king is huge. This is the largest. It's larger than the base on the king in my other set that's meant for a board this size. Absolutely huge. You can see how it fills that 2 inch. I wouldn't, you know, if you're thinking of getting this set, you will need 2 1/4 inch squares. You wouldn't be able to put this on a 2 inch chessboard. It would be really crowded. But they're gorgeous. They're simply gorgeous. And they are made of wood. Keep that in mind. Nothing is perfect when it's made of wood. There's one of the black knights. You can see the detail that's gone into that. Beautiful work. Copying, of course, the old 1849 Jacques style of knight. And they're all, you know, clearly what they do is they turn the base and then probably glue. I'm guessing this is glued on. The base is turned and the knight is obviously hand carved. I don't think a machine can do this yet. Anyway, that's my review. Thank you very much.